part of the future in the Gaza Strip. Full stop.
That's Israeli Foreign Ministry spokesman Oren Marmerstein after a new round of airstrikes bombarded Gaza, where health officials say more than 400 Palestinians have been killed, including women and children.
The IDF saying it's going after Hamas targets like officials and infrastructure. The renewed fighting comes during the Muslim holy month of Ramadan, and footage this morning shows the widespread extent of some of the damage across the Strip. The first stage of the ceasefire ended 2 weeks ago. Negotiators have yet to hammer out a second stage, which would free the remaining hostages.
Fox's Alex Hogan. Now to the war in Ukraine. President Trump keeps trying to stop it, and we'll talk to Russian leader Vladimir Putin today.
The call between the two leaders comes after a week of negotiations. That began when the United States and Ukraine agreed on a plan for a 30-day ceasefire. We could soon find out if Russia is ready to sign on to it too.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. A federal judge has given the Trump administration till noon to answer questions about controversial weekend deportations he had ordered halted and why the order was ignored. But White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt tells Fox,
"We know we are going to win this battle in court."
She maintains the planes carrying alleged Venezuelan gang members in the U.S. illegally were in international airspace when the judge ordered the planes to turn around. A first in Texas, a midwife criminally charged, accused of performing abortions.
Maria Rojas is charged with 2 felonies, illegal performance of an abortion and practicing medicine without a license under Texas' near-total abortion ban. State Attorney General Ken Paxton says Rojas illegally operated at least 3 clinics in the Houston area where the procedures were performed. Opponents of the ban say it's too vague regarding when medically necessary exceptions are allowed, and a bill has been filed in the current state legislative session to clarify that.
That's Tanya J. Powers. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
They're in mourning in Southern California after a sheriff's deputy was killed in a high-speed chase that left his patrol car split in 2.
The officer was pursuing a suspected car thief when the horrific crash occurred. 34-year-old San Bernardino deputy Hector Cuevas Jr. was pronounced dead at the scene after he slammed into a car and then careened into a light pole. Police say Cuevas was trying to pull 22-year-old Ryan Turner over when Turner sped away, resulting in the pursuit. Turner was later captured on foot. He faces vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated charges. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
The Federal Reserve will assess the economy starting this morning in a 2-day meeting that is not expected to lead to an interest rate cut this time. On Wall Street, stock futures down modestly before today's trading. This happened just after midnight, way above us.
And undocking confirmed.
That's NASA TV.
Freedom is free of its moorings. Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore begin their belated trip home.
Those 2 astronauts are on a SpaceX capsule on its way back to Earth now, finally, after they spent more than 9 months stranded at the International Space Station.
The pair was only supposed to be there for about 8 days, but that all changed after NASA determined the Boeing Starliner spacecraft they arrived on had issues and wasn't safe enough for their return to Earth. So a 4-person crew arrived over the weekend to take over for the departing crew. And if all goes as planned, the Dragon capsule should splash down in the Gulf of America off of Florida's Panhandle just before 6 p.m. Tuesday.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer. Days before spring is finally sprung, the boys of summer are playing. The Major League Baseball season opener underway now in Tokyo. The Los Angeles Dodgers, led by Japanese star Shohei Ohtani, playing the Chicago Cubs. L.A. leads 3-1 in the 7th inning. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. National Weather Service confirming 3 tornadoes hit central Illinois. Storms swept through Friday into early Saturday. They say preliminary findings of damage survey determined one EF2 started south of Neoga and ended a couple of miles south of Charleston Mattoon Airport. One person in custody, it follows a shooting in Champaign. They say a man found shot inside a car in the 1100 block of North 3rd Street. The victim sent to the hospital in stable condition. Investigators determined the victim inside the car when Zaire Herman of Champaign shot him. Herman then fled on foot but was later arrested. Illinois men's basketball team heading north for the NCAA tournament. Fighting Illini earned a 6th seed in the Midwest region. They'll face the winner of Wednesday's first 4 matchup between number 11 seeds Texas and Xavier. Illinois' opening round game is going to be played Friday night in Milwaukee at Fiserv Forum. Lots of basketball coming up. Enjoy those games. That's what's happening. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim
All
Miller.
right, thank you, and good morning, March 18. It's Tuesday. I am Stevie J. That is Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
Normally, I'm pretty pumped for the NCAA tournament.
Yes.
And I am surprisingly apathetic.
Okay.
I've never.
Why is that?
I don't know. It means Illinois is either going to lose or they're going to win 6 in a row. Huh?
Okay.
I have no idea.
Well, Xavier and Texas will play tomorrow night, so we'll find out our opponent.
I just don't buy into I like our path. Our path is hard. It's going to be a grind. It's going to be really close, and we might lose. So I just don't know. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I am. What's up?
At least you're playing up in Milwaukee. That's not a bad place.
Well, can't go to StubHub and see how much tickets are. I mean, you want to look at that?
Okay.
I don't think it's.
What time is that game? By the way,
8:45 Friday night. Nice and late.
That late?
Yeah,
Oh.
I know.
Okay.
But no
Good.
school the next day. Oh, do you get up Saturday morning? Do you have to wake up early Saturday?
I got a little stuff to do. Not. I've just been programmed to do this forever and ever, as in getting up early. I just can't help it.
I'm generally up at the same time. And
Me
then
too.
Sometimes I can grab the phone, check if the world's still rotating.
Yes.
And then I generally go back for an hour or so. Maybe.
You'd like to have my coffee and watch the sun come up at this time of the year and beyond.
Right.
So
Right.
It's a routine, and jump on the bike too. Nothing better than an early morning bike ride when the sun is up too.
That sounds great.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering what's up, because normally I'm grabbing pools but I'm just not in there right now. So maybe by Thursday I will.
Do you need to talk to somebody about that?
I don't know. Well, doctor, it's very complex. I don't understand.
We always talk about this being morning therapy.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the theme. I love the theme. I'm fired up. My team's in it. We're good. I guess I'm little. Illinois had so many injuries and sickness and everything else. Our team really hasn't been together truly since January 5th. And then Maryland, and that was a bad matchup and all that stuff. And so I'm going in I don't want to get hurt. Okay. I just don't want to be
Nothing
hurt.
wrong with going in as kind of a sleeper or an underdog.
But we have a game that could be good enough to beat just about anybody. So I think Illinois can win. I think we can win some games. I guess I'm just, since I'm all in on Illinois, when Illinois is not in it, I could care less about their silly tournament. Okay?
Just cancel it and get football going.
Yeah.
Could it be that these tickets are like between $350 and $450 each? That's
wow.
I was going to go up to Milwaukee.
I don't think you jump in at $65 at this thing.
Right.
This is the show, man. If they play in arenas that hold 60,000 when you can't, 45,000 of them can't see anything, and you're selling those seats, yeah, I could believe it.
Wow.
So yeah, and
well, where are they? Are they at the? I don't know what they call it. Kohl's. They used to call it the Kohl's Center.
It's
Kohl's
Pfizer.
Center,
It's the Pfizer now.
Pfizer
Forum.
where the Bucks play. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like 18,000 seats. You're telling me it's sold out?
But I mean, they have like Section 222 is $576, and that's upper rim area. So
we'll get 4 of you that really, really want to go, and then go to Suderman at Good Vibes and just buy a big old screen and then see it better.
Might be, yeah.
Anyway, yeah,
By
that's
the way,
surprising.
I've officially been informed, by the way, that the ball club called, was it Duke or Duck or something like that, is number 1 seeded in their particular round.
Yeah.
It's a family member thing. Okay, so the weather intern.
Well, speaking
the Mrs.
And let me just point out, the last I checked, we do have the Chicago Cubs on US 105.9 right now.
Yeah, but the Dodgers are leading 3-1. It was the bottom of the sixth last night.
They ought to play ball games at 5 in the morning every homestand.
There you go.
Why don't we just,
I like it.
Why don't we just have the Dodgers play an all-star team every day? Because that's what they are. It's no fun.
Yeah.
It's no fun. Yeah, good for you recruiting and paying big dollars to have an all-star team. Anyway, it's time for weather. Good morning, 10 after 7. This is meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
They remind you, spring break week is going on and the pool is open. The Urbana Indoor Aquatic Center has their hours posted at urbanaparks.org.
All right, Mr. Meteorologist Greg Solier, how do we look on this Tuesday, sir?
Well, another one of these roller coaster wind-blown rides of late winter / early spring storminess over a wide area of the country. Same areas hit with a blizzard last week and the week before that. Well, back into high wind warning and blizzard warning mode across parts of Iowa into Minnesota. Then the dust will get kicked up through Oklahoma and Texas, and we'll see if that is in the atmosphere around here come, maybe Friday. In any event, a nice day's worth of weather today. We'll get some high mid-level clouds to work in from time to time this morning, dampering a bit of a sun, but then the sun is dominant this afternoon. So is the south wind. We're in the 40s already. 71 later today as the south wind picks up 20 to 30 and gusty. More wind tonight out of the south and southwest at a mild overnight low of 55. Tomorrow, variably cloudy skies. We got some showers, maybe a thunderstorm around. We're kind of in a slight risk, probably in the late morning or early afternoon tomorrow for something maybe in that category. Not the stuff that came through here on a widespread basis, though, last Friday. Highs up on the day tomorrow at 65 as winds turn westerly, and that southwest to west wind may require a wind advisory up to 40 or 45 miles per hour, and appropriate enough to rain early tomorrow night. We'll have some snow mixed in towards Thursday morning as we welcome in springtime a little after 4. A couple of snow rain showers Thursday morning, a partly sunny breezy cool afternoon at 46. A little more rain back in late to Friday into early Saturday. A couple of more spells of rain Sunday and Monday, and we start a cool down. Highs near 60 on Friday with mid to upper 50s Saturday and Sunday, and just upper 40s early next week. For Steve J. Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, we are off and running. Good morning. You're always welcome to text us. Anything we say, anything you think about, 217-359-2255 is the Fisher National Bank text line. And the tournament does start on Thursday, although the play-in games, the one we're interested in is tomorrow night when Texas and Xavier.
But still, play-in games start tonight after 5. It'll be St. Francis, Pennsylvania, and Alabama State, the 16 seeds. And then the number 11 seed should be interesting with San Diego State and North Carolina.
Yeah.
How did they make it in?
They were 1 win and 12 losses against quad 1 opponents. 1 and 12. Now, if you take quad 1, quad 2, they were comparable to some of the others, but no, it's interesting how there's always every year same thing. There's somebody how they
that's right.
That's not fair every time.
And the guy who was from North Carolina said he was out of the room or whatever.
Yeah, he's the AD that I think chairman of it, and he left the room. Anyway, yeah, get them every year. There's no doubt, and sometimes it actually isn't fair. So here we go with the tournament, but there are all kinds of pools and everything else. You can always find a pool to get in, but they got something called Calcutta. Anybody know what that is?
No.
Get in a big room with a lot of people with a lot of money.
Okay.
And you bid on the team you want. It's an auction. So if you want Duke, it could be $4,000.
Okay.
If you want Auburn, it could be $4,000.
But then what's the payout?
It's a percentage. Every time your team wins, you get a percentage of the total pool. One pool I am aware of has $83,000 in it.
Ooh.
And how that is dispensed is that you can win along the way. So if you win 2 games, you get some of your investment back. And the more you spend, the more you get back. It's a percentage of the overall pool. Now, if it's a percentage of the pool, won't matter what you paid. Anyway, the cheapest team was $1,000. It's out of my league, man.
Wow.
Anyway, it's a very unique way, and they have these things all over the place. And this is just one of those nods to say, you know what, this is a...
And you say Calcutta to get in on it.
I think it's a Calcutta is what it's called.
Okay.
I don't know why. I am not well versed in that. I've never taken part in that, but I know people around here have. And you can go bid on a team, and then you just have... Then they have other pools where you draw. I don't want Alabama State.
Right.
That sucks. I quit.
Right.
Yeah, I want my money back.
Dang it.
Yeah. So anyway, it's there's a lot out there if you want to get involved, and then you can go online. They're free, and you can. Some of those are just, and then you can say, "Hey, I picked that team." Well, okay, that's fine. But again, somebody that doesn't know a lot about pools generally wins those pools. And all these guys that watch every single game have no idea.
I'm just thinking of Janet and her favorite shopping destination.
Yeah, she won it that year. She picked Los Angeles, and UCLA in the 90s won that thing. So, yeah, that's right.
Well, in the Big Ten schools in the March Madness bracket are the Michigan State Spartans as the 2 seed, Wisconsin Badgers as the 3 seed, Maryland's Terrapins as the 4 seed, Purdue Boilermakers as the 4 seed, Michigan Wolverines a 5 seed, Oregon Ducks, I keep forgetting they're in it, as a 5 seed, UCLA Bruins as a 7 seed, and our Fighting Illini as a 6 seed, with a total of 8 teams that are in it. So 8:45. So if you are considering few-hour drive up to Milwaukee, what is it, 3 hours and 15 minutes? You've been up there with Benjamin's hub.
Yeah, I don't think
Milwaukee.
I've ever made 3:15.
Is that right?
I don't know who's driving when you go.
Okay.
Generally, I can get there in about 3:45.
Okay. But still, totally doable for Illini fans.
It's doable until you said
townies.
$500 for a ticket.
I know.
That can't be right.
I mean, I just did a quick online search, and it took me to StubHub. You're right. I probably need to go to Pfizer Forum.
Well, I can't imagine they're all sold out, but I guess I can. This is a big event.
Well,
The NCAA is a big deal.
What about, this is probably is it the second to the last game or the last game?
The last game of the night.
And so are fans sticking around?
No, they don't. They're when their team loses, they're gone. When they win, they kind of watch the first half of it.
if you're a fan,
you're not
what if you want to linger?
You don't linger if your team loses. You get out of there and you're upset. You spent $500 on a ticket and they lost.
It's an experience.
No,
and
it's
if
not.
you paid
It's
certain
a
amount
bad
of money.
experience, man. No, and Kentucky will play a 14, whoever that is.
But do they empty the place? They
don't empty it. No. We went to the game in Indianapolis on the 05 team. Johnny took us to that game in 05. And as soon as we got up, the next team said, "Hey, can we have your seats?"
Right.
And we said, "Sure, we're leaving." So they took our seats, which were pretty good. And so I think what happens is they just interchange. But the fact that 18,000 people will come to a first round is hard for me to believe. I believe it could be on Sunday, on the final. But Illinois plays. If we beat whoever we play on Friday night, then we'll probably play Kentucky Sunday. And I'm told they flip it. So if you play the late, you play the early. So that means we'd probably play at 11 a.m. on Sunday.
Oh, man.
That's okay. We played Michigan State at 11 a.m. up there, and had not been the foul called on Kasparis Yakijonas. 4 of the 5 weren't even fouls.
Right, in the first 3 minutes,
We
right?
played great. We played great at 11 a.m.
Right.
So I'm tired of that deal. Let's just get up a little earlier and do whatever you do, but play well. So
okay, thank you for that.
And we got to listen, I'm not counting on getting past the first opponent. You do that, fool's gold, people.
You're right.
You can't ever look past Xavier or Texas. Oh, they're no. I don't care.
Yep.
They can beat you.
Yeah.
That's just how it works. So go in there, play well, hopefully win one.
Especially the big men in the formula. I haven't looked at the Texas and Xavier's, big
we're
men.
better than
obviously Maryland. We struggle.
No, Maryland is a top 12 team.
I know.
And we are a top 12 team on some nights. But when we miss threes, we're not. And we don't have a great inside game from the standpoint of going against 2 guys like Maryland had.
That's right.
But we're better than Texas. We're better than Xavier. I don't know if we'll beat them, but we're better than they are. And then Kentucky's just like, okay, how are we going to play? We're going to make shots. I think Kentucky's up and down a little bit. We might like that game. So let's just see if we can win the first one and then go for the Sweet 16. I think it's a wonderful season if you get to the second weekend. I really do.
And number 8 seed women are facing number 9 seed Creighton, and that game is on Saturday night at 6:15.
All right, going to check your Fox Business Minute. We'll do that in just seconds, and then we'll come right back. Got a situation in Deerfield, Illinois, about a young girl being forced to undress with a boy in the locker room. Stand by.
Take charge of the years ahead with a smart, sound investment strategy and business succession plan. Busey Bank's business and wealth management experts help you envision your best future with powerful insights and proven strategies. Building business and growing wealth since 1868, Busey Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Lauren Simonetti, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Google parent Alphabet has agreed to buy cybersecurity startup Wiz for $32 billion, according to Financial Times, citing sources. That would make it the biggest acquisition in the search giant's history and the biggest deal of the year so far. It would likely face scrutiny from the Federal Trade Commission, which has the ability to block large deals. Growth outlooks are out from the OECD, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, and it's projecting that economic growth in the U.S. and several other countries will be dragged down by the growing trade war and uncertainty on trade and economic policy. Canada and Mexico are forecast to see the biggest impact, but the U.S. is also expected to see its growth hit. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
It's the Will Kane Show.
Russian, Ukrainian, European, but most importantly, he says, American stockpiles, resources, and security on bad footing. Given that, we recognize reality and we pursue peace. This is a fascinating restructure of the global political landscape that many are having trouble keeping up with, as I think J.D. Vance and Donald Trump remake America.
Get the podcast 5 days a week at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcast.
Stevie J here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to thenateevansgroup.com.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. All righty. So, Deerfield, Illinois. That's a suburb of Chicago on the west side, right, I think? Mm-hmm. Anyway, apparently this situation where 13-year-old girls weren't comfortable changing in front of a transgender person in their high school, and they just, I'm not getting my PE clothes. And so the principal called him. Anyway, here's the mom and Fox News interviewing her. This is Deerfield, Illinois.
The male student was present in the girls' locker room. Feeling violated, the girls made the choice to not change into their PE clothes with a biological male student present. The next day, Assistant Principal Kathy Van Treese pulled the girls into their office, questioning them. The same day, Assistant Superintendent Joanna Ford, Kathy Van Treese, and multiple teachers all came into the girls' locker room, making them change into uniform.
Joining us now is that brave mother, Nicole Georges. She joins us. Nicole, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I can't even imagine how hard that was to stand up in a room which we are told was filled with trans activists who were saying that this is the right thing, that girls like your daughter and her friend should have to change in the locker room in front of biological boys. So please do share with us your daughter's story.
So what happened was my daughter and all of her PE fellow girls, they wanted their locker room back. They had originally decided on their own that they weren't going to be changing in front of this student. So they had tried to do basically their own protest and not change in front of the student. So they decided one day to just not wear their PE clothes. They went to not change. The next day, Kathy Von Treese, who is the principal, the assistant principal, called each girl individually, multiple girls individually, one by one, to see who started this, what had happened, and they all got brought into the office. That same day, the assistant superintendent, Joanna Ford, Kathy Von Treese, and multiple other teachers came into the locker room and made the girls change.
How can you make the girls change? What are you doing? You get suspended? I mean, that whole thing of made the girls change is perplexing.
Hard to believe that they were forced into this situation. Okay, so just to be clear to our audience and to you, we did reach out to the school and its administration and has chosen not to reply back. We have not received any comment. We requested a statement. They have not provided any to us. That being said,
and I had said so then, and I had asked the teachers, I said, why is this happening? Nobody is giving me any kind of response. The only suggestion that they had was to move my daughter into a different PE class. That was by Robert Wegley, the other principal. And I said, no, my daughter is not moving classes. She's not doing anything. The only thing that she is doing is she's not going to change for the remainder of the year. She's not changing her schedule. She's not doing anything else because she did nothing wrong. That's locker room is for them. I mean, what the scariest thing is, this sets such a dangerous precedent for girls everywhere by allowing men into safe spaces. My biggest concern is that an adult biological male that hasn't transitioned can freely access women's bathrooms, locker rooms, putting their safety and privacy at risk. This is common sense.
What would you do? 217-359-2255. Is she wrong not making her daughter change in front of a biological boy?
I don't know why you just can't go in the stall if you're uncomfortable.
Well, you're making me feel worse because you're hiding from me. Now I want the stall doors removed. How do you feel?
I mean...
At what point do you stop acquiescing to what is wrong? That's what I say. It's wrong.
Or can you approach the transgender person and say, can you go in the stall for 3 minutes while
the girls aren't
rest
comfortable
of us
with them
change?
in there.
You're
not comfortable having a male in a girl's space.
Right.
The point is they're not allowed in there. And I think it's just we've so crossed the realm of common sense. And then to say change. What are you talking about? No.
Right.
I'm not changing. I'm not comfortable with this, and you need to think about maybe what I'm thinking here.
It just got really elevated, and I feel like there's some kind of compassionate way to
You have a compassionate way where you dress in another area and then you meet in the gym.
Right.
Whatever. But you don't have to say you're going to let me dress in front of you and you're going to dress in front of me.
All right. And to me, how about the person who's transitioning, whatever the, jargon is these days, they come in, 3 minutes later after everybody's done.
I still don't like them in the space. And then I also don't want them playing dodgeball. They're going to throw the ball in my head a lot harder than the others. I just think you have to deal with this.
Dodgeball has a different look these days, too. There's a giant ball in the middle that they're trying to hit instead of each other, from what I understand, after going to a school board meeting last week.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that we think old school that just need to be approached.
So you're just hitting a ball?
I think
and
so.
And that's called dodgeball?
I think so.
Okay, I never liked dodgeball because I got hit in the eye by a really fast, and when Rod Swihart was on the other side, you just kind of got dressed,
Stevie,
okay?
I can't believe we survived.
I know it. And we did walk to school in the winter backwards and barefoot.
I just feel like sometimes we just need to back up and try to be more compassionate towards people.
I get it, and you should be compassionate toward people, have empathy, but you shouldn't make them change in front of the other sex. I mean, they're not comfortable.
Right.
Why don't you honor that? Honor the fact that they're not comfortable dressing in front of a biological man.
Right.
It's totally. We would never be anywhere near that school if that were happening. Not near it. It's just the wrong thing to do. And if you're going to do those things and start excusing everything, where do you stop? How much do you tolerate to say, well, it's okay, we'll figure it out? You have to put your foot down at some point. Your line hasn't been hit, Diane, but if I hit you with a line and it crosses your line, you'll get pretty angry. And everybody's line is going to be a little different. But protecting my children is the line, is the absolute line. We ain't doing that, okay? And so anyway, you can jump in there.
Yeah.
217-359-2255.
In fact, Megan texted in, I just feel like a 13-year-old girl is hard enough with peer pressures and insecurities to their body to add a boy to the mix, quote unquote boy.
Yeah. No. Anyway, it's and this is the problem of the left. This is what we believe, and it's not enough to say, well, I'm going to have compassion and understand that there's issues and we got to figure stuff out. It's you're not only going to accept me, you're going to endorse me. You're going to do this, and you're going to be happy about it, or else. That's where we are. And the answer is no, we're not. All right, 7:30, 217-359-2255. Be right back, my friends.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Israel's ceasefire with Hamas is over. Airstrikes resume in Gaza. More than 400 people are reported to have been killed. Hamas officials and civilians, including children among them.
The IDF says it hit dozens of targets, going after Hamas targets like officials, leadership, and infrastructure. Israel's defense minister stating, quote, this decision comes after Hamas repeatedly refused to release our hostages and rejected all proposals presented by U.S. President's envoy, Steve Witkoff, as well as the mediators.
Fox's Alex Hogan. President Trump speaks with Russia's President Putin today.
A State Department spokesperson says the ball is now in Russia's court after Ukraine accepted a U.S.-backed 30-day ceasefire. Last week, Russian President Vladimir Putin said he had questions about the nature of a truce. Russia remains adamant any deal must ensure Ukraine will never be a part of NATO.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Champaign Police and Crime Stoppers asking the public for tips that could lead to an arrest in the murder investigation that's gone cold. The murder happened October 4, 2022 during a birthday party near 3rd Street and Beardsley Avenue. 25-year-old Rashad Weatherall of Danville shot as a car passed him by. An accident on Interstate 74 eastbound at milepost 183 results in the death of a bicyclist Sunday riding in the right lane struck by a car. The bicyclist transported to a hospital, later pronounced dead. Following the crash, all lanes of the interstate finally were reopened. Illinois Pollution Control Board met with the EPA Monday in Springfield to urge stronger standards for cars. Health experts and energy advocates highlighted the benefits of electric vehicles and discussed the health risk associated with air pollution caused by conventional vehicles. IPCB says cleaner car and truck pollution standards have been adopted by more than a dozen other states. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, check of your weather brought to you this morning by Kramer Siding and Window.
Enjoy the great outdoors from indoors. Kramer has that beautiful new sunroom you can explore. Check out the showroom in Champaign and click on kramersiding.com.
So again, everyone, let's check weather for Eastern Illinois. Champaign, Van Evans, today, wind blowing, warm up on tap for the day today with highs up to 71. Some cloudiness around this morning. Partly to mostly sunny midday and afternoon, though. That south wind picks up 20 to 30 and gusty. Windy, milder tonight. Chance for a shower late, milder at 55. Tomorrow, quite windy, variably cloudy skies, turning cooler late. A couple of showers and thunderstorms in the morning. Occasional rain for the afternoon. Highs up to 65. That south-southwesterly wind gusting 40 to 45 miles per hour. We'll shift back into the west late in the day. Tomorrow night, windy, much cooler and colder periods of rain and some mixed snow after midnight and a low down to 33 for the day on Thursday. First day of spring, windy, much cooler, a couple of showers of snow and mixed snow and rain in the morning, partly sunny for the afternoon. That northwest wind will be stealth high near 46. Little rain back in for late Friday to early Saturday, highs near 60 on Friday. Cool off for the weekend early next week with upper 50s on Saturday. A couple of more rainy spells Sunday and Monday. Highs about 57 on Sunday, only in the upper 40s next Monday. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window. New roofing and siding are a winning combination that can instantly change the look, feel, and function of your home. Our Kramer Siding and Window team takes pride in being an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, able to offer a best-in-the-business 50-year warranty. Pair it with preservation siding in your favorite style and color, and your home will be a showstopper. Start today and save 10% on roofing and 25% on siding. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Yeah, Cubs are losing to the Dodgers, top 9, 4-1.
4-1 now.
I am not rooting for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm sorry. It's just no fun.
Well, they're cheaters.
Cheaters?
Well, I guess that's the Astros.
You just called the Los Angeles Dodgers cheaters, and you got your team
in the
wrong.
sense that financially they're doing all this stuff.
No, they're not cheating. They're just buying a team.
They're paying everybody in 10 years, and they just say, we're going to give you a little bit now, and then that's cheating.
Dodgers legal online, too.
Why didn't the Cubs think of that?
Dodgers legal online, too, if you want to take that, Diane.
Okay.
Anyway, it's
Thank
Houston Astros a cheater.
That's right, with the garbage
all that.
banging on the can. And
Ceasefire over in Gaza. Israel is attacking Hamas. They did not release all the hostages. It's back on. Donald Trump talks to Vladimir Putin on the phone today. And, don't know where we're going with that.
I don't either.
Trying to figure out, they're going to lose some of their ground. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But, I mean, how much of Ukraine, if you keep it going and you don't give Ukraine everything they need, then they're going to lose. They're going to lose anyway. And anybody with nuclear weapons is going to beat you because they could launch a nuclear warhead and start World War III because China's going to get involved and the U.S. will have to get involved. So we don't want any of that.
Right.
So we're trying to get the thing done. And then, of course, things are a mess in Hamas again. There's still hostages, obviously, you want out. They just won't. They're just not going to let them go because they believe that's their last chip that they're holding. And then I would, at some point in this thing, destroy every single tunnel. Do you know that the people keep digging tunnels all the time, that 500 days that these hostages reports are back, they dig every day.
Yeah.
They just keep digging new tunnels. Well, you send your bunker busters, and you send these massive bombs, you try and make sure that folks know they're coming, so you just get out of the way, and you blow them all up because they've got an integral highway system underneath.
Yeah.
And they build them under hospitals so that you can't go get them. And so you're just going to have to get rid of the tunnels because that's how they hide and that's how they travel. Anyway, it's divine intervention. God's hand in this has to be, otherwise you're just not going to fix something that's been bad for 2,000 years just like that, I don't think. So the idea of turning Gaza into some sort of Dubai, I don't know how you would do that. You can try, I suppose, but you're still going to have suicide bombers and other people that don't want that.
If you have all these tunnel systems, wouldn't that weaken what's going on up top?
Well, if you go deep enough.
Okay.
I mean, that's where all the nuclear arsenal for Iran is underground. We have the tool that will destroy it. We have the technology. And I don't know who else even has this, but we can go deep into the earth and destroy whatever you've got. So we can end the nuclear threat from Iran. I've been hearing for 20 years. I remember George W. Bush talking about how close Iran was to a nuclear weapon. So I don't know where they are. I don't think anybody knows. So if they don't do this or do that, it's not surprising if Donald Trump sends a bunker buster to Iran and messes them up for a long, long time when it comes to a nuclear warhead. Because obviously, with the Houthis, Hamas, Hezbollah, you don't want Iran getting a bomb because that's who they support, all the terrorist groups.
Well, and if Trump is talking with Putin, are we really going to trust what Putin is going to say?
No, I mean, there's plenty of examples where that hasn't worked out either. I think Putin deeply respects Trump and fears him. I don't think there's any doubt. But nobody wants to get in a fight with Russia because Russia's now got China on their side. So you're trying to geopolitically figure it out from the standpoint, okay, how do we get Russia to at least be neutral toward us and neutral toward China as opposed to being partners? Because Russia, because of this Ukraine war, has used North Korean soldiers and China's supporting, and I just don't think you want that. Anyway, it's a lot going on here this morning as we try and navigate the world events. But boy, I tell you, if you could figure out how the killing would stop in Ukraine, Russia, that'd be a big one. And then again, I don't know. Israel wants to end Hamas, and I don't know how you ever end a terrorist group. They just reformulate because you killed their uncle, and we're going to kill you. And you have kids that are grown, knowing that we're evil and the devil and have to be killed. So how do you talk to that?
Right.
You're just not.
If that's what you've grown up with.
Same plane, and we're evil, and they're been in bad shape a long time, and Hamas has hid and used and controlled Gaza and all around, and the people there have no home because I don't think there's anybody that welcomes 2 or 3 million people into their country. That's, of course, we accepted a whole lot of people across the border over the last 4 years, way more than that. And so this judge, and somebody please explain to me how a judge can run the country. If a judge says, well, Donald Trump, you have to bring those people back. Exactly when did the plane take off? And were you in international waters? And why did you disobey my federal order? How can a judge, a singular judge, essentially trump Trump?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. I know you can appeal everything and it'll go all the way to Supreme Court, but we're trying to get rid of the worst when it comes to our immigration. Isn't anybody looking up going, what are we doing? We don't want these people of these gangs and murdering, raping. What's our problem? Why would you defend the judge told him to send them back? Why do you want them back?
Right. 250
of the worst. We made a deal with El Salvador to take them in their maximum prison, which can't be pleasant.
Right.
We gave them $6 million for 250 inmates. But I bet if you do the math on 250 inmates over a course of a year in a maximum security prison in the U.S., it'll be way less, I'm sure. So it's unbelievable. I don't understand. I really, really don't. And I'm passionate about it because I don't get it. You're illegal. You broke a federal law. I'm just escaping okay, well, you go through the system.
Right.
But you don't just come here, and then we have so many people that want to kill us or here intentionally from other countries. Mm-hmm. There are elements of terror all over the place, and who knows what they're plotting. You want that? Well, we're the evil country. We had slaves. Okay, all right. Okay.
Right.
217-359-2255. You want to jump in? Of course, the NCAA tournament is upon us. You have brackets. If you want to fill them out, go for it. I don't know how far Illinois will go, but wouldn't it be lovely if we were to make the second weekend? I'd love to make the second game. Let's just beat whoever on Friday night because we're going to be better. Just play a good, solid basketball game.
Yep, either Texas or Xavier.
Yep, those are the play-in opponents. That'll be the 11 against us, and let's go play because we're better. And then Sunday will be, if you're playing a 3, which I presume will play a 3, that's presuming the 3 beats the 14, and be Kentucky, and they're good. So, yeah, they're all good. Everybody's good.
That's right.
Used to be you knew you were going to win the first game. Now it's just, come on. Where'd you get that guy?
Absolutely.
They shoot threes, they do everything, and maybe I'm just getting to the point I can't take the loss anymore. I have to stand 15 feet back from the TV.
359-2255 if you want to contribute to the conversation like Shane, who said, I'm a diehard Dodger fan, and every other owner has the same opportunity to do the same thing the Dodgers are doing, because I called them cheaters when it's really financial genius.
No, it's what
But the Cubs didn't, and the Cardinals aren't doing any of this financial stuff that the Dodgers did when it comes to, let's offer you a ton of money, and let's just say we'll pay you in 10 years.
I'm sure the Dodgers are a bigger market. They've got the L.A. Dodgers. They got the legacy. They got the World Series. I mean, they're a big time, probably not as legacy as the Yankees. But I think the Dodgers, Cardinals, but what they did is they spent a boatload of money. They paid $800 million for one player.
That's
so crazy. So it's okay, good for you, but it's no fun for us.
I know.
You're as a Dodger fan, you're still disappointed because they didn't win 115 times. Yeah, we should win them all. I know, but then if the pressure's on, think about it. How fun is it in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, when your team doesn't make the playoffs? Forget about it. How bad is it in Columbus, Ohio this year when Ohio State loses a game?
Yeah.
The pressure is not only you have to win them all, but now you have to cover the point spread because we're betting on you. Now, I think there's certainly ups and downs for everybody depending on your legacy, but the Dodgers are stacked, man. Nobody's going to beat the Dodgers, are they? It's just way better than most.
Dodgers are beating the Cubs 4-1 in the top of the 9th as the Tokyo Series takes place.
All right.
And you can hear the action over on US 105.9.
Yeah, they sound great.
Right.
They really do. Now we just got to get one tomorrow morning. They play a 2-game series.
Kind of odd for people who are used to hearing Big D and Bubba in the morning. Boy, those guys are funny.
Yeah, they are. They're very, very good. Texter, hey, Stevie, there's a terrible accident.
On
I-74 westbound. They're diverting traffic off the interstate at Route 49. So it's on, past Ogden.
Okay.
Route 49 to go to Rankin on Route 49. So it's I-74, westbound I-74 toward Champaign. Diverting traffic off the interstate Route 49, exit 2000. So if you are in and about Don't go on 74 West.
Okay, thanks for the text in. 217-359-2255.
Exit 200 is where they're. So, again, if you're going West 74, don't.
Okay. Thanks for the tip. Yep. We have our number 6 seed, Illinois. No longer in the top 25. We were 24 last week, but with that loss against Maryland.
Okay. Whatever.
So, yeah. In the end, we're in the NCAA tournament. So,
and if we win 2 and we're in the top 16, what about now?
I know. We're so mature, Stevie. The women on Saturday night will face number 9 Creighton. We're number 8 seed. That's 6:15 Saturday night. I just keep repeating because I want people to know when we play and how it's in Milwaukee, which to me is doable for Illini fans. It's just that, are you finding some tickets that are under $500? I mean, I just did a quick search half an hour ago, and I was amazed at, wow, we have to pay that?
That's just one game, not the weekend.
I know. I just maybe I'm looking at it wrong. It's got to be looking at it wrong.
Call our friend Ted; he'll know.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Ticket Ted has all the answers. Yeah. Illinois baseball and Indiana State, 6 o'clock today, and that's a home game. Illinois softball is in Missouri with a 3 o'clock first pitch. Illinois men's golf called because of darkness yesterday, but the Illinois men got their round in, but they're in 5th place at this point. And some of the play-in games are starting up after 5 tonight. In case you'd like to see a St. Francis, Pennsylvania and Alabama State, the number 16 seeds going at it, and number 11 seed San Diego State and North Carolina. We also have the first round of the NIT, and I know my niece and nephew, Gary Ducey's kids, went to St. Louis University. They're playing Arkansas State tonight.
Well, Denise and her husband recently made the decision to sell their home and reached out to the Nate Evans Group for help. Denise says that the Nate Evans Group not only sold their home quickly, the same day that it was listed, the experts at the Nate Evans Group also helped Denise and her husband find their forever home as well.
I'm telling you, that secret list of homes might be something you want to have a look-see. Or if you need that smooth transition from selling your home to buying your next one, Nate partners with lenders who have creative banking solutions. There's all kinds of things you can learn from Nate Evans and the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty. In fact, even that get home value as you enter your address at the NateEvansGroup.com and start exploring and have that experienced team help you every step of the way. A friend you can trust. Call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans at 217-239-7113, or do an online search to Nate Evans Group to start packing.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
Well, tell me, Tim Onsett, lawn mowing season soon. Dixie Chopper, dedicated diesel. It's off Route 45 as you're heading toward Rantoul. You turn left on Triumph Drive till you can't drive anymore, and you'll be right there. And you got some Dixie Choppers I could buy.
Oh, yeah. Andy's got his hands full with Dixie Choppers, and stop by, see Andy, get a great deal on a mower.
Fastest mower you can buy, so you don't have to spend 2 hours out there. You might spend 45 minutes, and plus, Andy can tune it up or fix it.
Sure he can. Yeah, we got a full shop ready to go. Whatever you need.
When it comes to early on here in the spring, it can be, weeds up to your mid-thigh or whatever. So sometimes you need a really tough kind of mower to get through all that in the brush.
Well, yeah, these are built solid. They'll get through that stuff, and all of the structural components have a great warranty. So if something does go wrong, we can definitely get it fixed. Get Andy at Dedicated Diesel, 217-328-0562, or Dedicated Equipment on Facebook.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is ready to help you combine home and auto and save right here in Champaign-Urbana. Call 352-1411 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Vacation. How do you do?
Well, I mean, not being on the radio with Stevie J. That was, listening to these great people that come on to talk to you in my spot.
Wow. It's Todd Likens. Dr. Likens is the pet pro. He's veterinarian. I just didn't think you ever could take a vacation with what you got at home.
That's about as big a vacation as I get. Is just, taking an hour or two off. That's my vacation.
There you go.
Well, I'm trying to think. There's so many different ways people are doing the NCAA pool. What you ought to do is you ought to mark some dog bones and put a team on them and say which bone's eaten first. That kind of thing.
Okay.
That could be the best way to do a bracket.
And have his pack kind of devour and find out who's
whoever eats
the last bone left.
Yeah, if last bone left is Duke, then
there you go.
That could be kind of fun. You're right with that.
Hey, so as you rest a little bit, it's really important to take a break from whatever you do, right, Todd? I mean, you gotta. But if you were like a week away from your dogs, would you miss them?
Oh, I think we last about 2 or 3 days.
Really?
And then, it's one of those things you go away, and we end up like our kids. We end up talking about our dogs, just things like that. So I guess they are not dogs; they're part of the family anymore. That's the way life has changed with animals. They become a big part of your life.
Well, when you have a Dalmatian plantation, do you really know each dog very well? Because you have 16 or 20 dogs. I mean, do you really know that's over there?
Or is it different colors?
Oh, yeah, we know their colors. We know their personalities. We can, Gina can just use her eyes and they'll go somewhere. She's like, meet me in the other room.
Wow.
And she'll move her eyes and one dog will go.
That's amazing. So Gina probably is, with them more, obviously. But
she's the leader of the pack.
She's the leader of the pack. Yes. But if she were to appoint a general, who would she appoint as the leader dog in your house?
The alpha dog.
I don't know.
What's the boofer? Where's the boofer in the order of pecking order?
He's not anywhere on the hierarchy.
Okay,
right. He's probably retired now.
He's a constant talker.
Believe it or not, our boys are not the bosses around here. The gals are running the show without a doubt.
Okay.
There's the sneaky ones like Lacey who she's been making videos on TikTok of doing different things. And some of the younger ones come up are pretty doggone sharp.
Yeah.
She's got the one she's working with now, our youngest one. She'll have a heart attack and fall down, and then the rigor mortis sets in, and Gina does CPR, and the dog bounces back and is just happy. So spin both ways. He's getting all sorts of interesting little tricks.
Don't you think
these videos are hilarious?
Yeah, really,
and some of them about the guilt, where you have like a torn up, pillow or something with stuffing everywhere, and then you see that the dog has stuffing coming out of its mouth. It's obvious, and then the dog with the droopy ears and the sad eyes and slooping
Those
down.
Are so entertaining. They really are.
Gina just reposted the Macarena one with Lacey doing the Macarena, and she had 800 views within 20 minutes.
Oh my gosh!
It's crazy on this stuff.
No,
people eat it up.
You got a million people potential with what you've got there, and I think that your dog's a white English cream. I think the intellect is of a 6-7-year-old, something like that.
Oh, easily. Yeah. I agree with that wholehearily. So the understanding of words and everything, and just like I showed the picture of the dog standing around Gina at treat time, and they're all in their spot. But then some of those guys, as soon as they get their treat, they'll go and they'll back out and run around to the other side to try and get a second treat. And she'll reward those guys for that kind of thing.
Well, how do they know the other one they have is not well hidden enough to be found?
Well, she'll ask at the end, did everybody get one? And then somebody will chirp out if they feel like they've been missed.
Okay.
No, that's hilarious.
We have a lot of fun with them.
Dr. Todd, it's spring break, so people might be trying some different things with their animal, but you've got to think through all these different scenarios. I mean, what if you weren't able to get to water, or, you take a collapsible water container, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
All these things if you're taking your dog on some kind of hike or adventure, right?
Right. And where you're at too. I mean, you're going, let's say, to an area where there's rattlesnakes, and your dog has never seen an rattlesnake. Have somebody moving to Florida, their dogs have no idea what an alligator is. I mean, there's a lot of education that needs to go on with dogs that haven't been exposed or have others train them. So that stuff comes up from time to time.
Yeah.
I've never seen a rattlesnake bite around here ever, so I wouldn't even know how to treat it myself.
One final thing. I talked to a woman the other day whose daughter received a dog as a gift. Not a good idea.
No, really not. I mean, there's so many mismatches there, and the person may not be in the right mode yet, even after the loss of a pet. I believe people grieve, and there's a lot of people that say no more pets, and then it takes 2 years, and all of a sudden they're back with a baby, and their faces are all lit up again. You got to let everybody do it in their own time.
Yep, exactly. So, but I think people's intentions are pure, but it just
absolutely.
A dog is a lot of responsibility, a lot.
Oh, huge. I mean, that's why I don't get many vacations, because I got a dog ranch I got to run.
No, I get it. We don't like leaving our little babies. That's for sure. All right, how can people find Dr. Todd Likens?
All right. Well, I am working, so I'm 217-355-5051.
You really need a nice break. You really do. I
just kind of broke up my routine, and I feel it's been nice. And like I said, you got to meet Gina and Taylor, and they're a wonderful part of my team.
You betcha. Well, one day maybe you can go to dinner, and I'll come over, and I'll just take care of all the little babies running around your house, and I'll wear black, so I got plenty to show that I've been at your house.
Okay.
I'm sure it would be hysterical for them.
we would love it. All right, thanks, Todd. Appreciate it.
All right, see you guys.
That's Dr. Todd Likens, veterinarian, the Pet Pro, Madison, Kirby, and Champaign. Okay, the news coming up. Good to have you listening. ESPN 93.5.
We did have a text in about an accident off I-74 over by the Ogden exit.
You just don't want to go westbound 74 from Danville right now.
That's right.
Divert to another spot.
And thanks for keeping us in the loop. 217-359-2255.
All right, we'll break for the news and come right back. Another hour to go of exciting radio. Illinois plays 8:45 on Friday night, and I just don't know why I'm so doggone, I don't know what. Wake up, Stevie J. It's tournament time, man! Come on, let's go!
That's right.
I don't know if it's aging or a get off my lawn moment, but I want Illinois to win. I don't want us to lose. Is that so wrong? I just got to be mature. The 1 hour rule, I invite you to adopt it. No matter what happens, you are whatever for 1 hour. Then it's over. It's over. There's only one team that celebrates. One. In this age of equitable and fairness and understanding and empathy, I think there should be 10 champions. Yes, I think every one of us should get a trophy.
There you go.
Every single team should get a nice big tall trophy, and we should have a parade. Every team, 68 of us. That'd feel good. We'd come home, pretend we're champs. So, anyway, I tell you, athletics can teach you a lot about life. So let's go. Let's go, Illinois. All right, news coming up.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is not a one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is that we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
When you're looking for your next vehicle, be sure to stop at Sarah Champagne and listen to Merez.
Hi, I'm Merez Johnson Jr., power forward for the University of Illinois basketball team. The only place you should shop for your next vehicle is Sarah Champagne, home of Honda, BMW, Buick GMC, and Subaru. Why? Because they treat you like family every time. Take it from me, Merez Johnson Jr. Sarah Champagne will be the last dealership you will ever work with.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com. That's SERRA Champagne.com. From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information, including repair quotes and online scheduling requests, available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Israel is waging war again in Gaza. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Israel will act against Hamas with increasing military intensity.
And they did overnight, just like Foreign Ministry spokesman Oren Marmerstein says.
Launching dozens of airstrikes throughout the Gaza Strip. Massive explosions rocked major population centers, including Gaza City, Khan Yunis, and Rafah.
Health officials in Gaza say more than 400 Palestinians have been killed, but Fox's Trey Yingst also reports from Tel Aviv.
Fox News cannot independently confirm the exact number. Among the dead are reported to be numerous senior Hamas officials, including Issam al-Da'alis, who was acting as one of the de facto leaders of Hamas. Funerals were held this morning for some of the dead. We know that many are civilians.
At some point this morning, maybe even now, President Trump expected to be on the phone with Russia's leader trying to end a different war.
We're getting down to a very critical stage, and we want to get the whole Russia-Ukraine thing done.
He's trying to get Vladimir Putin to agree to a ceasefire like Ukraine already has. A federal judge is expecting answers by noon from the Trump administration over the weekend deportations of alleged gang members in the U.S. illegally under the rarely used Alien Enemies Act of 1798.
The judge is frustrated that the Trump administration did not follow his order to turn the planes back around. As Democrats warn of a constitutional crisis, the White House argues the flights were already in international airspace, so they maintain the judge's ruling no longer applies. Attorneys for the Justice Department also say the judge's verbal order was not definitive, and they say the president was acting within his authority to address what they say are national security concerns.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. It's baseball season, and they just played the Major League opening game in Tokyo, where Japanese star Shohei Ohtani scored 2 of the Dodgers' runs in Los Angeles' 4-1 win over the Chicago Cubs. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
We might get answers to questions that have been asked for more than 60 years today. A bunch of JFK files will finally be made public.
In all, about 80,000 pages of records about the 1963 assassination of President John F. Kennedy will be released, President Trump says.
I don't believe we're going to redact anything. I said, just don't redact. You can't redact.
An executive order signed in January ordered the declassification of records related to the Kennedy assassination, as well as the assassinations of Robert F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King Jr. Last month, the FBI announced it inventoried and digitized about 2,400 newly discovered records related to President Kennedy's assassination. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
They haven't felt gravity since June, but they will today.
Undocking occurring right on time at 12:05 a.m. Central Time.
That was NASA TV when a SpaceX capsule left the International Space Station, bringing a crew home that includes Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams, who've been stranded at the station since a Boeing spaceship that took them there last year had technical issues and couldn't bring them back to Earth.
They were originally set to return no later than Wednesday, but NASA and Elon Musk's
SpaceX moved up the mission to take advantage of favorable weather. The Starliner crew will begin their deorbit burn just after 5 p.m. Eastern, and just before 6 p.m. Eastern, they will finally splash down off the coast of Florida. Williams and Wilmore were relieved by a SpaceX crew that arrived this week. Both Williams and Wilmore have been vocal in their praise for President Trump and Elon Musk and their efforts to get them home.
Fox's Todd Pyro. Now, this is a really big deal. Google's parent company Alphabet is buying a cybersecurity company called Wiz for $32 billion cash, planning to use Wiz's technology to better secure Google Cloud. On Wall Street, stocks may go back down. Futures for the Dow about 100 points off after 2 days of rebounds. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois men's basketball team heading north for the NCAA tournament. Fighting Illini earned a 6th seed in the Midwest region. They'll face the winner of Wednesday's first 4 matchup between number 11 seeds Texas and Xavier. Illinois' opening round game is going to be played Friday night in Milwaukee at Fiserv Forum. Lots of basketball coming up. Enjoy those games. National Weather Service confirming 3 tornadoes hit central Illinois. Storms swept through Friday into early Saturday. They say preliminary findings of damage survey determined 1 EF2 started south of Neoga and ended a couple of miles south of Charleston Mattoon Airport. One person in custody and follows a shooting in Champaign. They say a man found shot inside a car in the 1100 block of North 3rd Street. The victim sent to the hospital in stable condition. Investigators determined the victim inside the car when Herman of Champaign shot him. Herman then fled on foot but was later arrested. That's what's happening. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Okay, so Berg Septic and Storm Shelters. Soye, that's a brand new sponsor.
Yeah.
And
well, welcome. Thank you.
Yeah,
welcome to the family.
I went over there and got in one of those things. So if you have a trailer park, in some states, they'll pay half of the shelter if you buy one.
Okay.
And I don't think Illinois is doing that yet.
Makes sense.
Indiana is. Anyway, so they dig the hole. They put the unit down there. It can hold, you get the big one, it holds up to 20.
Oh, wow.
It could be party. You have DirecTV, whatever you want, you put in there.
Okay.
And you have cell service, everything.
So it's a storm shelter.
It's a storm shelter, like the old days in the farm. You lift the big wooden thing, go down.
That's right.
That's what this is. So
like Dorothy tried to do.
Exactly.
So anyway, it's fascinating, and you'll be hearing more about it in the coming weeks. But I went into one that held 6.
Okay.
And again, it's pretty cool. And if you're somewhere with no basement, you got an inside tub in your house, I guess. But otherwise, this could be a little handy thing. It's not a ton of money. It's thousands of dollars, but you can set it into the ground and then know that if it gets nasty and you hear the sirens, you got a spot, you'll be safe.
That's right.
That's pretty cool.
Now, we had an upgrade on some of the storms. There were 2 E2s and then 4 E1s. Is that right? I don't really know what I'm talking about, Greg.
No, you're right. You're right. And as our beloved newsman had brought up as well, the National Weather Service tends to, when they suspect something may have come on through, especially these nighttime outbreaks, to go out there and assess not only the data but also the damage signature, and that's how they come up with what had come down from a damage standpoint, and can categorize it between an EF0 and an EF5. And lucky enough, everyone made it through okay. Just a little, barn and structural problem in the rural areas, but made it through relatively unscathed, because you hate those nighttime, late night outbreaks of severe weather.
You can't see them. You just can't see them. And they can also, be from this thing to that thing within minutes. It comes down to the ground, boom. I mean, it's unreal.
These kind of, not these we just within the past couple of days just celebrated another anniversary of that great tri-state tornado. I believe Max Armstrong's father observed it and was one of the key witnesses back in the newspaper era of that day and age. But in any event, these low hanging, these what we call rain wrapped or low top thunderstorms, you get some wind involved and spin them up, and that's how you get these kind of low grade tornadoes to kind of whip on through. Sometimes they happen 1 or 2, sometimes they happen in dozens. It just depends on the atmospheric setup. So we made it through again in relatively good fashion.
Need a solution maybe for your office? Watts Copy Systems. They offer cost-efficient solutions. If you have a busy office, just call them 217-352-0428. All right, check your weather, brought to you this morning by Carl.
Sometimes your couch or your kitchen table is the best place to see your provider. virtual visits bring healthcare to where you are. Schedule a virtual convenient care appointment at mycarl.com.
All right, Mr. Meteorologist Greg Solier with a look ahead and some stuff still on radar coming later this week, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of these springtime, early summertime seasons where we're just going to be, dealing with maybe a little more action, more so than usual in the severe weather sense. So good to have those storm shelter opportunities to invest in. And, the National Weather Service, I'm sure, will be on their toes as well. With one system expected here for tomorrow, a slight risk, not quite the scale and magnitude that we had here late Friday night. And there's another system in here that may kick up some severe weather-related issues between Sunday and Monday, and then maybe a little bit of a break until we get into the very beginning part of April, what should be a pretty busy and active, again, springtime season across East Central Illinois and the Twin Cities. And the S word is still in there as well, as appropriate, I guess, for some who think of the first day of springtime, and it officially clocks in Thursday morning a little after 4. But in the meantime, off and running this morning, we are in the 40s. Later on today, 71 with a partly sunny sky, increasing south wind, milder tonight, 55, and we'll get a couple of showers, maybe a one or two stronger thunderstorms tomorrow morning to early afternoon. Then some rain sets in after that, 65, and maybe turning cooler as a strong south wind gusting to 45 miles per hour shifts into the west. There's going to be another winter storm and blizzard across parts of the plains and western Corn Belt from this thing. Tomorrow night, windy, colder around here, periods of rain. They'll mix with some snow after midnight again, down to 33, and a little snow, rain mix here Thursday morning, a partly sunny, chilly afternoon at 46. We bump up to 60. Little late day rain Friday, a couple of rainy spells Saturday and Sunday, weekend highs upper 50s, back into cooler days with upper 40s the beginning part of next week. Steve Day Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
All right, buddy, thank you. 811 ESPN 93.5 217-359-2255 is our Fisher National Bank text line. Diane?
Easy keeping us in the loop on this accident on I-74 westbound lane. And their traffic is getting rerouted to exit 200 at this point. Also, Rick had said, Steve, if I'm the father of the girl the teacher and the school made undress in front of a transgender male, I would bring legal action against them in a major way.
Could be.
Where did common sense go?
Common sense has left the building for some. But this is from Deerfield, Illinois, a story we talked about last hour. A bunch of 13-year-old kids weren't comfortable changing into the PE with a transgender there, and so they didn't. And then they all got called into the office. They all were told to go back in the locker room, and as the administration stood there, wanted them to change now.
Yeah.
And obviously the mother at the school board with a lot of activists there that took courage. And then she was on Fox News talking about it, saying, hey, we don't want that access for a biological boy to be in there. And then I said, well, what would you do? We certainly wouldn't do it. My family wouldn't do it. And I just think it makes common sense. Say, you just got to change somewhere else. And if you're going to be in PE, okay, but you're going to change somewhere else. This is for the girls and your biological boy. So
right.
But to make them, stunning. Yeah, Rick, I think you're right. I think there will be legal action on that too.
Mm-hmm. And then Adam had texted and called because of darkness. They didn't know what time the sun set when they scheduled the thing. So we're referring to the story about the Illinois golf team here. And we had the Fighting Illini men's golf team in 5th place after play was halted due to darkness Monday evening in round 2 in the Palma Valley Invitational in California. So I assume, maybe it just took longer. Maybe there were some weather issues where things were becoming dark.
Or maybe it rained. And they had
right.
If they had a delay.
That's right.
And usually they are very careful. They know sunsets at 7 in Puma Valley today.
Right.
But you can play till when the sun sets here, you got light for another good half hour to play golf.
They'll complete the round from yesterday this morning, and then round 2 has been repaired for a final round, which will tee off approximately at noon in California, which is 10 a.m. for us.
And you hit a ball in the woods, and you walk to the woods, and technically you're supposed to have 5 minutes to find your ball. So that can add up.
I didn't know all that.
Yeah.
I do know I went to the school board meeting for Unit 7 in Tolono last week, and golf team was approved as well as sideline cheer. So these are all new chapters for us.
Sideline cheer.
Yes. And before, there's different looks of cheer teams these days.
You don't go out there and say, hello from Steve, Jamie. You know how you do this routine.
I think
sideline just stays on the sideline.
I think they could do their names.
What's the difference with that and regular cheerleading?
I think regular cheerleading, like our Illini cheerleaders, they have all these different, things that they can do, and I feel like they do these different routines.
Yeah, right. Tumbling and gymnastics.
Right,
kind of stuff,
and then there's competitive cheer.
Yeah, but what's a sideline cheer do?
And I think it's just on the sideline. Where it's not necessarily...
Why do you need that if you have regular cheer? Because they're on the sideline cheering.
We don't have regular cheer at
There's
Unity.
no cheerleading.
We have a dance team.
Ah, I thought you had... I thought everybody had cheerleaders.
No, we haven't. And see, there's a changing of the guard as Scott Hamilton has decided to retire. So now we have a few new things coming into play at
All right,
Unity.
so cheerleading is back at Unity. Are all schools cheerless?
I don't know. Some of them opt for the dance team, and then it's asking the dance team if they want to have pom-poms and do some cheer. But
I didn't know anything. I thought they was all the same. I thought since
my daughters on the dance team never did Go Team Go.
Right, but
UNITY High.
Well, you had cheerleaders when your kids were in high school, didn't you? Didn't they have cheerleaders?
I don't remember that.
Okay, I didn't know.
I remember the dance team, and they did stand there for the national anthem and the pom-poms and the Unity song. They could dance to that. But they never did say, give me a U.
Okay.
Yeah, I did that. I got number one fan at Unity for the class of 85.
Okay, then.
I did that.
I didn't know it had left, so welcome back. Time for sports headlines.
All righty. Illinois, as a number 6 seed, will face number 11 seed Texas or Xavier, who will play tomorrow night. Now, some of the playing games start tonight after 5, in case you want to catch some of them. It's also the first round of the NIT, and some teams of local interest to me anyway. St. Louis University Billikens, Ed Martin went to that school too, are taking on Arkansas State. So the NIT is underway. Now for the women, we're in action as a number 8 seed against number 9 Creighton at 6:15 on Saturday night. Illinois baseball at home, Indiana State at 6 o'clock. Illinois softball down in Missouri. That's a 3 o'clock first pitch. And as I mentioned, the men's golf will be in action out in California. We also have the Tokyo Series. Oh, could you look that up? Before it was the 9th inning and the Dodgers were up 4-1 over the Cubs, and you'd hear the action over on US 105.9. But it could be that the Cubs had a great bottom of the 9th inning, or however that looked.
I'll look that up, but that's
Indiana
not
Pacers over
likely.
Minnesota, 132-130 in overtime, and the Bulls beat Utah 111-97. Of course, Io is out for the rest of the season with, I believe it was a shoulder injury or something.
4-1 final. Iowa's out. I think Iowa's done. But Dodgers beat the Cubbies game 1 of the regular season starting, today.
Okay.
One more in Japan tomorrow against those Los Angeles Dodgers.
NHL fans will find St. Louis Blues at Nashville at 7, and Seattle is in Chicago to face the Blackhawks at 7:30 tonight. I want to remind you that PIA 1609 West Springfield Avenue, a great place to tap into a lot of these tournament games and get in on the fun, the March Madness, the memorabilia for March. Every Friday in March, they're giving away signed jerseys, and I believe this Friday will be Nick Anderson.
Oh man, they did Dick Butkus
last weekend.
Yeah,
and D Brown to start off the month.
Take that.
There are great giveaways every Friday with J&J Gaming, so if you want to just walk in, you don't necessarily even have to play. You just get on that app and get your entry in for the day or whatever it looks like, and see if you can come out a win on Memorabilia March on Friday.
At Pia's. Okay, let's check your weather. Brought to you by Kurt Lenschow, State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor. Kurt Lenschow and State Farm are there. And by Busey, for over 155 years, member FDIC. We check our weather. Our meteorologist is Greg Solier, taking a look at the rest of the week. Going to be kind of up and down, a little messy in points. Let's check.
So again, everyone, let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign, Van Evans, today. Wind blowing, warm up on tap for the day today with highs up to 71. Some cloudiness around this morning. Partly to mostly sunny midday and afternoon, though. That south wind picks up 20 to 30 and gusty. Windy, milder tonight. Chance for a shower late, milder at 55. Tomorrow, quite windy, variably cloudy skies, turning cooler late. A couple of showers and thunderstorms in the morning. Occasional rain for the afternoon. Highs up at 65. That south-southwesterly wind gusting 40 to 45 miles per hour. We'll shift back into the west late in the day. Tomorrow night, windy, much cooler and colder periods of rain and some mixed snow after midnight, and a low down to 33 for the day on Thursday. First day of spring, windy, much cooler, a couple of showers of snow and mixed snow and rain in the morning, partly sunny for the afternoon. That northwest wind will be stealth high near 46. Little rain back in for late Friday to early Saturday, highs near 60 on Friday. Cool off for the weekend early next week with upper 50s on Saturday. A couple of more rainy spells Sunday and Monday. Highs about 57 on Sunday, only in the upper 40s next Monday. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Google parent Alphabet has agreed to buy cybersecurity startup Wiz for $32 billion in an all-cash deal, which is set to boost Alphabet's profile in the cloud computing market. U.S. housing starts rebounding strongly last month, but rising construction costs from tariffs and labor shortages are threatening the recovery. Starts tell the number of new residential construction projects begun. Single-family housing starts, which account for the bulk of home building, surged 11.4% to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 1.108 million units last month. Data for January was revised to show home building declined to a rate of 995,000 units instead of the previously reported 993,000. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Every hour of every day, Fox News Radio is there with the latest breaking news and information you rely on.
This is a Fox News Alert.
I'm Lisa Brady.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
With Fox News correspondents around the globe.
At the White House, Simon Owen in London.
On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The news that matters most to you. The top headlines, all in one place. Listen and follow the Fox News Hourly Update at foxnewspodcasts.com or ask your smart speaker to play Fox News.
Actually, I called the provider. It was just going to be a while before I could have service, and I couldn't wait, so I was recommended to Classic. Professionalism, their dependability, credibility, and the service technicians. I wouldn't ever call anybody else.
I truly believe that after people have experienced other companies and then given us a try, they can clearly see the difference.
Visit ClassicPlum.com.
At F&B Wealth Management, it's not just about numbers, it's about people and communities. Hi, I'm Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank and F&B Wealth Management. Our team is united by a shared passion for helping you achieve your financial goals. We are equipped and eager to work together to craft personalized financial solutions just for you, including retirement planning, risk management through life insurance, long-term care insurance planning, and investment advisory services. Together, we will celebrate milestones, navigate life's transitions, and build a financial future that reflects your values. Experience the difference of a team that truly cares. Visit investwithfnb.com to learn more about dedicated advisors and start your journey toward a financial confidence today.
F&B Wealth Management is a division of Fisher National Bank. F&B securities are not insured by the FDIC, not a deposit or other obligation of or guaranteed by the depository institution, subject to investment risks, including possible loss of the principal amount invested. Securities, insurance, and investment advisory services are offered through Midwestern Securities Trading Company, LLC, MSTC, member FINRA, SIPC, MSTC, and F&B are not affiliated.
F&B Wealth Management, supporting exceptional communities full of exceptional people.
It's time for spring cleaning, so why not turn your clutter into something amazing? At the Habitat for Humanity of Champaign County Restore, your donated furniture, appliances, and home goods help build homes, community, and hope right here in Champaign County. Dropping off is easy. Bring donations behind the Restore at 1914 Glen Park Drive during donation hours. Call 217-359-0507 or visit cuhabitat.org to schedule. Declutter your home and change lives. Donate to Restore today.
Well, speaking of which, Development Director for Habitat for Humanity, Rachel Voss. How are you?
I'm doing so well. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Nice to have you on the program. You guys are busy. Got some home dedication coming up. You got stuff you're looking for from people as they spring clean. Talk to me. Give me some details, Rachel.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's Home Dedication Day. We are so excited. It's the first home dedication of 2025, number 137 overall. So one of our amazing homeowners are going to get their keys today, and it's what we do. The whole thing of what we do is just helping people achieve affordable housing, and that goes on with the Restore as well, which is a great time as well because it's Global Recycling Day. So it's a great day to get some donations over to the Restore. And we have amazing sales happening this week, especially today because the home dedication, we have a great sale for that. But if you donate with us this week at the Restore, you get double your donation discount. So it's a good time to support Habitat.
Man.
I love all of this, Rachel. Let's talk about the people that are getting the home. It's not just, you were nominated, boom, there's a free home. Let's talk about that process.
Yeah, so the homeowners that are getting their keys this month applied to be in our program in July 2023. So it has been a long time. They have worked so hard to get their keys this month. They put in 300 hours of sweat equity volunteering at the Restore, on their own builds, on other people's homes. They have gone through 30 hours of financial education classes. They're doing all of the major things. I know as a recent home buyer, I am so impressed and inspired by every partner family we work with at Habitat.
Well, does it ever get old for Habitat for Humanity? Blah, blah, another home, home. It must be so special every time.
Every single time. It is a new home. It is a new family. It is a new blessing within the community.
But you taught them how to fish, Rachel. You didn't just give them a fish. You taught them. I mean,
that's right.
The pride they're going to have in what they're able to do and what they've learned through the process.
How empowering.
Absolutely. And just the security and self-reliance that they have built through this program just allows them to thrive in our amazing community.
Are you looking for new people to be nominated? And is there a window of time that we can do that?
Yes. So every July, we have a 2-week window that is available for applications. All the information will be on our website. Currently, the dates are to be determined, but please reach out. Go to attend our homeowner and home buying classes. We do have a 9-part webinar series that is happening in April as well, led by our HUD certified housing counselor and family services director. So that is a great chance to learn more information about how to apply in July.
Early in March, I believe you had the ladies coming together to learn some skills. Let's talk about some of these workshops that you have on the weekends.
Yes, we are bringing back our Women Build clinics at the Restore. This past, on International Women's Day on March 8th, we had one where we taught women how to change your outlet, how to hang pictures, and then how to fix the drywall after you mess up hanging your picture.
I love it. And are there businesses that can sponsor that sort of thing if there's an opportunity?
Absolutely. We are always looking for continued support. We are interested in making it a consistent series where we're teaching all different type of home repairs, things like how to change your locks. There's so many things that we could teach at these clinics. And so we would love some more community support.
Well, way to go. You guys you just keep churning them out. I think it's outstanding work, Rachel.
And there's one next week, another home dedication, so people can find out details at cuhabitat.org. But Janet is Stevie's wife, and Restore, one of her favorite stores.
Yeah, no question. And the thing is, Rachel, you have to go in every darn day because there's new stuff coming in, man.
Yeah, it's so dangerous working there.
I bet it is.
I see all the great stuff.
Bringing a lot of stuff home to your home, Rachel. Champaign County Restore, located at 1914 Glen Park Drive. And if people need a pickup or could have qualifying items, things like that, just jump in real quickly on the things you're looking for or things that you'll take from people who are decluttering.
Yeah, we take so more things than you probably could imagine. Home goods, decor, of course, furniture, any extra materials from your home repairs like hardware, We also take appliances. We do love appliances, and the community really, really is looking for more appliances.
Well, keep up your good work. We appreciate Habitat for Humanity. Congratulations on the new homes, and thank you so much for jumping on, Rachel Voss.
Thank you so much for all your support.
We are there for you. Rachel Voss, Development Director, Habitat for Humanity, Champaign County. Love the new space off Mattis.
If you need more details, cuhabitat.org.
Okay, the news will be coming up next. It's ESPN 93.5. It is March 18. It is Tuesday all day.
The Nate Evans Group, EXP Realty. So you got an office right across from the fire station in downtown Mahomet.
Yep.
And that Nate Evans Group has some great energy when you walk in that building, because you guys are moving and shaking. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think that was the culture we were looking for. We wanted to be a younger demographic of vibrant agents and brokers. We wanted to make sure that we brought that energy on our listing consults and things like that. It's not fun to go to work in a stale environment, and we wanted to create the idea that we can still have fun, have a real edgy feel to our marketing with a still professional approach with something that's taken so serious.
239-7113 is the number for Nate Evans, or you can go online to nateevansgroup.com. I know that if I want to sell my home, Nate Evans is the man.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to the nateevansgroup.com.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. A ceasefire now over. Israeli airstrikes reportedly kill more than 400 people in Gaza. Israeli Foreign Ministry spokesman Oren Marmerstein says it's because Hamas refused to release hostages.
This is the humanitarian plea that the world should be voicing, and no other plea.
A senior Hamas official says returning to war amounts to a death sentence for the remaining hostages. President Trump speaks with Russia's President Putin today about a ceasefire proposal agreed to by Ukraine.
We're getting down to a very critical stage, and we want to get the whole Russia-Ukraine thing done.
The president also announces the planned release today of 80,000 more pages of JFK assassination files.
I don't believe we're going to redact anything. I said, just don't redact. You can't redact.
He was visiting the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in D.C. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. National Weather Service confirming 3 tornadoes at central Illinois. Storms swept through Friday into early Saturday. They say preliminary findings of damage survey determined one EF2 started south of Neoga and ended a couple of miles south of Charleston Mattoon Airport. One person in custody. It follows a shooting in Champaign. They say a man found shot inside a car in the 1100 block of North 3rd Street. The victim sent to the hospital in stable condition. Investigators determined the victim inside the car when Zaire Herman of Champaign shot him. Herman then fled on foot but was later arrested. Illinois men's basketball team heading north for the NCAA tournament. Fighting Illini earned a 6th seed in the Midwest region. They'll face the winner of Wednesday's first 4 matchup between number 11 seeds Texas and Xavier. Illinois' opening round game is going to be played Friday night in Milwaukee at Fiserv Forum. Lots of basketball coming up. Enjoy those games. That's what's happening. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Actually, I called the provider.
Called what provider?
What provider could that be?
Okay, here we go. Off and running to the next and final segment of our program. Illinois basketball, 8:45 Friday night. We are playing the winner of Texas and Xavier and play-in game Wednesday tomorrow night.
Milwaukee, the Pfizer Forum is where the games will take place, where the Milwaukee Bucks play.
The play-ins in Dayton, but our game's in the Pfizer.
That's right.
Okay. And again, you want to go up there, you can if you can get a ticket. I don't know how all that works. I've never really, been a long time, 20 years since we even looked at a ticket to a first-round game. I can't believe it's selling for what they say they're selling for. Has to be scalpers involved.
I know. And see, it was a secondary market that I was poking around when I saw the 500 to 900 window of financial commitment to this.
You would probably call Pfizer and just see if there's any seats for sale.
Yeah.
I would think the normal face value would be, what, $60 or $80, something
right.
like that.
And see, my daughter Gabrielle works for Kohl's in the corporate office up there. And I feel like it's Kohl's Court and stuff like that, too. And she was saying, I feel like you could get in entry to the 6:10 game and the 8:45 game on some of those ticket prices that you're saying.
Yeah, I'm sure you could, but who...
I know.
Who cares about the
I only
first
want to
game?
watch my
Yeah.
team.
Yeah, so anyway, I'd be shocked because can you sell at $18,000 for first-round basketball? Again, people aren't necessarily driving from wherever. You're going to watch it on the television when there's you get 20 different views in slow motion, and
right.
It's hard to justify going to a ball game if you're truly interested in watching. I know. Because the way you can buy a big screen for very little money now, and its sound is cool and beautiful 4D, all that stuff. I don't think it's just wanting to have the excitement as part of it. The experience of it, but you still can't see the ball game as well. I will say, though, I really enjoyed the home games for Illinois basketball, Illinois football.
So great.
It's a real show in between basketball. There's so many promotions. Football has to acknowledge so many people you can't see on the field because pictures, donations, and teams.
But they have the Jumbotron.
Kind of. Yeah, but if you don't have a good angle of it wherever you're sitting, you won't.
You know, you got to get a drink every once in a while.
Yeah, no, it's fine, but it's not the same. Basketball is like, here we go, we can participate. They need to put people in Section C to throw T-shirts to the schmoes in C. Because you can't reach up there.
I have heard you criticize that.
I'm just saying.
Or get like a slingshot and they go up on that first rim and the cheerleaders or whoever.
Yeah, you just have to give the people.
Because the cannon just doesn't shoot that far, neither do the
of course,
arms.
the people in A are paying tens of thousands, so maybe they deserve a T-shirt.
I guess.
There is that.
But do they really need a free T-shirt?
And it is kind of...
Are they really going to wear it?
It's kind of in observing it from a third party, not having anything involved at all, I would also rotate one sponsor with a couple of different promotions because it's the same one. You're kind of seeing it, the tug of war thing, the bungee jump thing.
Yep.
It's okay, but when you see them all the time, it gives you a different perspective from a new set of eyes.
It does. And you see, I wore my jersey to the Purdue game, the last home game, and I knew the jersey dance isn't coming until like around the fourth quarter or whatever. So people, that I was with, I said, I'm going to step out and use the restroom. Get it. What about the jersey dance? That might be no, it's coming up and blah, blah, blah. I already knew that because I've been to 3 other games where...
Well, they rotate where the time is.
And I didn't make the Jumbotron this time. What's up with that?
Well, you're not a 12-year-old kid. Anyway, they rotate the promotional times on basketball. They don't do it at the same time with a lot of them. Sometimes they do pregame promotions now because they got so many.
Yeah?
So I could be on their creative team and come up with
Me too.
A few other ones.
We are event specialists.
Yeah, that's right. But nobody's called.
Been around the block.
All right, 8:38. So March Madness is upon us. There's also a different type of, I mentioned Calcutta, where you bid and have an auction for the teams. That's one way. There's another one called Survivor.
Oh.
So you have, don't count the play-in game. So let's just say this is Thursday at 11 a.m.
Okay.
you have to, before that time, say, I'm picking one team that has to win. Okay, so you pick one team. They just have to win. Otherwise, you're out. But you can't pick the same team twice. So if you pick Duke in the first game and they're going to win, Duke's done.
Right.
So you don't necessarily want to pick Duke. You want to pick another team that should win, but it's not a slam dunk.
I see.
So then you could save the Auburn, the Alabamas, the Illinois, the Dukes.
Yes.
You can pick the teams later when you know it's a coin flip game, but at least to be alive. So, but if you lose, if somehow your team loses, you're done.
Yeah.
So you ante up, and then you just simply have everybody puts in a team, and if that team wins, you're in the second round.
Okay.
But you can't pick the same team twice.
Okay.
And you'll be surprised how, oh my gosh, we're in the final 8. I got a chance. There's a lot involved here. And I already picked all the top ones, So you got to pick another team. So in other words, it might come down to St. John's beating Duke, that kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd rather have Duke maybe in that game. Anyway, I'm not sure how the brackets work, but that's another one. They're just so creative.
Yes,
there's so
that's
many
right.
ways you can spend your money.
Yes.
So that's the survivor pool.
Okay.
So, but the regular old pick your brackets. Sheila wins. She's the office person that's never watched a game in her life, and she'll win. Because that's generally what happens. Somewhere in Champaign County, there'll be several Sheilas. And good for you.
That's right.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
840.
Ever wonder why you pay your bank to have a checking account? Fisher National Bank does too. You see, they offer free rewards cashback checking that gives you cash back on debit purchases, no service fees or balance requirements. Simply make 12 debit card purchases, receive electronic statements, and have one direct deposit in a monthly cycle. It's so simple. Reward yourself today with rewards cashback checking. Learn more at any branch or FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
Yeah, you can always chime in on the Fisher National Bank text line 217-359-2255. By the way, Mike Palm, who runs 3 casinos for Circa Sports. They now have Circa Sports Illinois. He was on with Lonte and Derek Piper yesterday afternoon. And I don't even know if I should share this.
Why not?
Mike Palm said the Cardinals are picked last.
You're kidding.
Well, there you go. Again, it's that whole expectation thing.
Right.
Cardinal fans have their arms folded.
And now with the Cubs losing,
They
and
got Pittsburgh
quote
over
unquote home opener or season opener against the Dodgers in the Tokyo series this morning. Wah, wah, wah,
Circus.
at Stevie J Broadcasting.
That's all right. That's all right. It's the Dodgers. Not very many people will beat the Dodgers. Maybe they can get one tomorrow.
Still.
All right. So Circus Sports have the Cardinals last place in the Central behind Pittsburgh.
What?
So
the Pirates?
So the deal is this: if you don't expect anything, and then all of a sudden they win a little. I think their pitching rotation is a bunch of veterans. Sonny's very good. Miles Michael's good.
Sonny's starting us off when we take on Minnesota 3:15 on March 17th.
Nolan Arenado needs a
27th.
good year. He has to have a good year. Nolan Arenado has to have a good year because it's a money year. He has to. Nobody's going to want to pay him much money, so he's got to be motivated for a new contract. Anyway, so the Cubbies I think are right there. I think Milwaukee's right there for potential winners. Cincinnati, the team I'm following rather closely, is way better than they were. So I don't know. And watch out for Cincinnati now.
Yep.
Sports headlines in just a second. ESPN 93.5, 843.
It's March, and that means it's a perfect time to start betting with Circus Sports Illinois. Whether you're betting throughout the mayhem of college basketball or sticking to pro basketball and hockey, Circus Sports has it all. From betting futures to props on your favorite players, Circus Sports Illinois isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, tight money line splits, and exceptional customer service. Download the Circus Sports Illinois app or visit circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fighting Illini fans, your Illinois football team is coming off a 10-win season as Citrus Bowl champs. This fall, Illinois returns 18 starters from the Citrus Bowl victory, including star quarterback Luke Altmaier for a third straight season. Led by head coach Brett Bielema, the Fighting Illini are listed on nearly every major top 25 ranking for the 2025 season. Stay up to date on all things Fighting Illini football at fightingillini.com. We can't wait to see you back in Memorial Stadium this fall.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise. But Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change a car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery has savings store-wide for the anniversary sale. Installation is half off Mohawk's waterproof luxury vinyl floors. The installation is free for Mohawk Carpet. And get up to $1,000 instant rebate on Mohawk carpets and floors. Instant rebates on all furniture. Plus, buy it all 2 years free financing. Don't miss the anniversary sale going on now at Carpet Weavers.
Hi, this is Chris Vandeventer with Philo Exchange Bank. We defined hometown banking for 14 decades. We've been a legacy of trust and dedication. We believe in the power of a community where every neighbor is a member of our family and not just another name. Unlike many other banks, our lending decisions are made within the walls of the bank. Quite simply, local banking means you get what you need quickly and efficiently.
Philo Exchange Bank, hometown community banking since 1883. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Diane has the rest of the sports headlines.
The Tokyo Series has concluded, and the LA Dodgers came out on top 4-1 over our Chicago Cubs. You'll hear all 162 games over on US 105.9 with Big D and Bubba in the morning. But this morning we had the Cubs on, kind of unusual.
And they'll be on tomorrow morning one more time.
That's right.
See if we can get a split.
Okay.
Yeah.
St. Louis Cardinals will start their season against Minnesota with a 3:15 start on March 27th.
Week from Thursday.
When the season opens.
Yep.
And the Cincinnati Reds will start their game at what, 3:05 to be the first one?
3:10. 5 minutes ahead. But now Cubs open the series.
It's a tradition for the
Cincinnati Reds are the oldest franchise.
Right.
Anyway, but the Cubs have opened the season with the Dodgers. It's all over. It's just in Japan.
Right. You're right.
Game on. Can you imagine the season starting March 18? Wow.
Man.
Early.
Yeah.
Gives them more days off. That's the point of starting late March now, so the players get more days off. So
when it comes to March Madness, some of the play-on games start after 5 tonight with St. Francis, Pennsylvania, and Alabama State at the 16 seeds going at it. The 11 seeds, North Carolina, how they and San Diego State, the 11th seed. And, of course, we'll be watching the game tomorrow night for the 11th seed Xavier and Texas game to find out who we play on Friday at 8:45 up in Milwaukee. No longer in the top 25. We were number 24 last week. We are the number 6 seed in the NCAA tournament. The women on Saturday night as an 8 seed will face number 9 Creighton with a 6:15 start. Illinois baseball, 6 o'clock, Indiana State. Illinois softballs at Missouri with a 3 o'clock start. Men's golf in 5th place in California, and they've got a tee off in this afternoon. Had a little darkness going on where they wrapped up the play of the first round yesterday, but the Illinois men's golf team had gotten through. We also had the Pacers over Minnesota in overtime, 132-130. Bulls over Utah, 111-97. Milwaukee's taking on Golden State tonight. Steph Curry, of course, hit 4,000 threes last week. To hit a NBA record.
Yeah, that's a lot of shots and a lot of shots made.
Amazing.
Yeah, amazing. All right, one weird seed I would say, because I really just follow the Big Ten, which doesn't bode well for my pool, is that Purdue was a 4 seed and Michigan, who beat Purdue by 20 in the Big Ten tournament, was a 5 seed. And Michigan won the Big Ten tournament. Now, it might be down to that whole net we talked about and the Ken Palm.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Purdue had a much harder schedule, and I think that might be the case. But how can a team beat another team by 20 and be a seed less for winning the Big Ten championship? I'm confused by that. Purdue, of course, has gravitas and a tough schedule, but so's I would presume Michigan be a comparable, but I don't know if the non-conference was as tough as Purdue. But Illinois, Duke and Arkansas, early we thought they were better than they were. Alabama, I mean, we played a tough schedule and fared pretty well till all the sickness and injury occurred. But still, overall, I think Brad and Matt Painter are tied for the winningest Big Ten programs in the last 6 years. That's hard. Really hard to do that. So it's a big deal. Now, as I've said for months, the only thing that really matters begins Friday night for Illinois. And if you lose that game, kind of disappointing, right? If you win that one, play on, play Kentucky, lose to Kentucky, it's probably going to be, probably thought we could have done better based on what we saw earlier. We were something else, that kind of thing. If you win 2, I think it's a win-win and you're successful, and we'll look back on the season and say, you know what, we did pretty well in light of all that happened to us. And then we'll say goodbye to Kasper Jonas and Will Riley. They're going to go to the NBA draft. It's just too much money to turn down. I think the combination projected for those 2 basketball players that are 18 and 19 years old is $50 million for Will Riley and Kasper Jonas, to be conservative. 4-year deal. Those 2 boys, they're not even out of their teen years, will be worth over $50 million combined.
Wow.
That's nuts.
That's crazy.
Oh, boy. It's 8:49. Greg's weather. One more time coming up.
In 1925, a small plumbing company began its journey in Urbana, Illinois. Over the decades, the business grew thanks to hard work and great people. In 1966, things changed when Dave Reichard, a veteran, met veteran Ken Asklin, who was an architectural engineering grad from Illinois. The two realized their shared vision for excellence. Their partnership took root, and in 1975, the name changed to A&R Mechanical. With Dave as president and Ken as vice president, A&R Mechanical expanded services, becoming the go-to full-service contractor for all of Central Illinois. A&R went from a plumbing-only contractor to a full-service mechanical contractor with their own sheet metal shop. Today, A&R is a plumbing, heating, ventilation service company with the same excellence in customer service as they provided nearly 100 years ago. Design, build, and maintain. That's what served A&R Mechanical for nearly 100 years. Find them at Lincoln and Kettering in Urbana or online at ar-mech.com.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window, a proud member of Prairie Home Alliance. A new front door can instantly upgrade the look of your home and make it more energy efficient. The Kramer Siding and Window team can also install French doors to your deck or patio, welcoming the outside in, or storm doors for an extra layer of protection against the elements. The estimate is free, financing is available, and the business is local. Schedule your beautiful new door today and save 25%. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois. Champaign, Van Evans headed a wind-blown warm-up on tap for the day today with highs up to 71. Some cloudiness around this morning. Partly to mostly sunny midday and afternoon, though. That south wind picks up 20 to 30 and gusty. Windy, milder tonight. Chance for a shower late, milder at 55. Tomorrow, quite windy, variably cloudy skies, turning cooler late. A couple of showers and thunderstorms in the morning. Occasional rain for the afternoon. Highs up at 65. That south-southwesterly wind gusting 40 to 45 miles per hour. We'll shift back into the west late in the day. Tomorrow night, windy, much cooler and colder periods of rain and some mixed snow after midnight, and a low down to 33 for the day on Thursday. First day of spring, windy, much cooler, a couple of showers of snow and mixed snow and rain in the morning, partly sunny for the afternoon. That northwest wind will be stealth high near 46. Little rain back in for late Friday to early Saturday, highs near 60 on Friday. Cool off for the weekend early next week with upper 50s on Saturday. A couple of more rainy spells Sunday and Monday, highs about 57 on Sunday, only in the upper 40s next Monday. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Yeah, we said middle school championships are here. I'd never heard of that one. Is this the first year?
Illinois Middle School Basketball Championships for the 4th time, March 21st to the 23rd, with 184 boys and girls teams representing 4th through 8th grade clubs and school divisions competing for the championship at the University of Illinois Recreation Activities and Recreation Center.
Yeah.
Thank you. Also Champaign Park District's Leonard Center, the Martin Center, the Brookins Gym, and High School of St. Thomas More.
Okay.
Hosting 184 teams, Stevie. Wow.
It's like a big soccer tournament, kind of, because you're going to have that kind of number.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't know. Good for Champaign-Urbana getting that in for tourism and all that.
$2.1 million on economic
But
impact.
you have an 184 teams. How many visitors will be here?
Right.
I would think all the families will be here.
Right. You got to follow your kid, your grandkid, your niece, your nephew.
Who's running the clock? How many volunteers you need to run the game?
Man.
Who's doing all the officiating?
I don't know.
And
How
I'll
are they
guarantee
getting
you,
that
there'll be,
done?
I know one thing for absolutely sure. There'll be a number of 8th graders, and you're going to say, Could I see some identification? You're shaving, right? Is that a goatee?
That's right.
How old are you? He's 12. He's got documentation. I don't know.
And single-day tickets are $18. 3-day passes $32 to $36 for spectators.
Well, that's awesome. I don't know who goes to that, but except people come in.
That's right.
I don't know if Champaign-Urbana would go out and see a random game. If you saw a kid that's on everybody's radar and could be a D1 guy and they're recruiting him as a 14-year-old, which happens.
Yep.
That 14-year-old have an entourage and they all are expecting big money, big money, big money. Spin the wheel.
Right.
Yeah, let's go.
But there is a National Middle School Basketball Association now helping produce these statewide competitions. So therein lies the officials and the official scorekeeping and things like that. I would think that that's coming from this association.
News Gazette mentions just came over the I-74 crash. Apparently was a fatal crash. It shut down 74 westbound we mentioned an hour ago.
Man, and that biker that lost his life on, it's just, wow.
Okay, we will return tomorrow, God willing. Thank you, Diane Ducey.
Enjoy the day.
I am Stevie J. Thank you for listening. Maybe Ed Martin, Brother Johnny for sure. Maybe Ed Martin tomorrow as well on Wednesday. The boys this afternoon, Monte, Derek Piper after 3. Thanks for listening. Have a great Tuesday.
I need to speak with someone in charge, a manager. Who's the manager?
Yes, ma'am. This is Paul Reekin from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. How can we help out?
Picture this, Paul from Dick Van Dyke, if that's your real name.
I'm also not wearing khakis, but go ahead.
I get home from work and I need a cold drink with ice. And instead of feeling that cool, refreshing air, I get warm air and a whiff of rotten meat.
That's gross.
So here's what I need, Paul from Dick Van Dyke. I need a new refrigerator.
We have hundreds in stock.
Don't get fresh with me, mister.
Excuse me?
I need it delivered tomorrow.
We have next day delivery guaranteed Monday through Saturday.
I want it at this price.
We guarantee the best deal.
I want an extended protection plan.
I'll give you one for free.
Now, don't get smart with me, young man.
No joke. It's free, and I'm 49.
Well, wow.
That's what we say, but why did you ask for a manager?
How else would I get this deal?
You don't need the manager. We do this for everyone, every day at Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. And just like Dad says, wow.
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Invest in yourself with free rewards checking from Fisher National Bank. Instead of losing a little each month in fees, wouldn't it be nice to earn on your money? Switch to Fisher National. They offer excellent annual percentage yields with no minimum balance or service fees. Make 12 debit card purchases, receive electronic statements, and have one direct deposit a month. It's super easy. Maximize on your money with a bank ready to invest in you. Learn more at FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank, exceptional communities, exceptional people, member FDIC.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less. Why use Land's Underground Solutions? We have the team, the technology, the tools, and the most experienced team in the industry. From a basic sewer pipe repair to replacing a sewer main, installing a water line to installing a septic system, installing underground utilities for a new construction project to rehabilitating the old pipes under a school. Land's has the most versatile and experienced team in the industry. Residential, commercial, and industrial, when it comes to your underground pipes, think Land's Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
Well, tell me, Tim Onstad, how is it going at Gale Frericks Trucking?
Oh, we're busy. We're going gangbusters. We've got a new driver going through orientation. That leaves us one spot left for somebody that wants to get in on the action and make some money, be home, get some quality time. It's a great opportunity.
And the type of person you like hiring?
Honesty, integrity, like everybody else is looking for. That guy that wants to have a family life, but be able to make some good money and do the right things.
Are you looking for experienced drivers? And if they have a military background and things like that, that's always an asset.
We do need some experience. Of course, we like getting the guys 15 years in that know what they're doing, maybe have been treated bad by other companies and need a place looking for a home. If somebody has the basics, maybe a year and a half, has a military background, I'll count that as some experience because they're used to following the process. Well, you can always email me at timo@gftlog.com.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
What is most important in your life? This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. If you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Watch all the